Sunshine County is donated to every city. And we're also working, with some of the local, community departments. So here in Gonzales, the chief of police as well as the fire chief have assisted us in helping coordinate this. And are also, providing us with some Narcan that's occurring in every city. So again, I just wanted to, recognize those who are helping put this together. Supervisor Chris Lopez has also, contributed to the number of, Narcan that we're hoping to distribute, this Sunday. So we're hoping to distribute, if possible, about 200 per city. And right now, that would give us at least 800 in one day. So that's what we're hoping for. So I just would like to ask the council, and all the members of the community, you're welcome to join us, on that day to help distribute. Or if you're not able to join us and provide your time, you're also welcome to help donate, food, snacks, and water to the 20 or so volunteers that are. Okay, so I have, and if I can maybe leave these with the chief. I have 5 English flyers as well as 5 Spanish flyers. For you, Pete, I'm hoping that you will help spread the word. Didn't make my 3 minutes, chief. To be able to spread the word. Thank you. Right. Thank you.
Some do we have anyone via Zoom? Very good. No one else will come to do that. I'll go ahead and close that part of the agenda and move on to the next part of the agenda. The second agenda, item 4-15. And I did run full item 22 for a couple questions from staff. Anybody else have any other items? I think it's important to see. Basically, we talk about California breeze. It's okay for this product. No, that's not.
It's 20, isn't it? It's 20.
Yeah, it's on the regulations.
Yeah. Oh, okay. Number 14. I was just curious. On the top side, a lot of parking stations out there. So I'm curious, how do you do it in 5 hours?
Sure.
Contract.
Yes. So I know a lot of the effort in this first task order is the grant management, grant reporting. There's monthly phone calls, quarterly reports, and this goes on for the life of the grant. So it's basically as much as the design effort. There's 3 different sites, which includes the, so the community center sites, was it Slings Valley Medical Clinic, and then public parking in front of farmers market. So they are unique designs as far as the what the lay of the land and how do we bring electricity to those facilities.
And just to add
So I guess what I was concerned about is I kind of one side, but a little more clarity on that description probably the answer to this question.
and just to, I just see want to for the public and that is all.
Right. I understood that, but Because it's grandfather, see that kind of money costs out there, but I'm saying it's four different sites, that's not. Okay, I have my question for you.
I just have a question if I may. On the one side, on street parking for the farmers market, who determines where you're going to, who determines the sign?
Staff do. And so these are not on Third Street, they're on Alta Minor in the median between Alta Minor and Alta Street. In front of farmers, not adjacent street parking. Essentially across from what the. Correct, correct.
Thank
You know, well, I'm gonna just go a little deeper into it. So when this grant was submitted, and this was part of the community center effort to get funding for EV charging stations because the building code requirements, the first run at the sites was the community center, six chargers, as you can see, the Gonzalez Shopping Center, same number, and then the in front of City Hall or adjacent to City Hall. When we received the grant announcement and we rolled up our sleeves and we actually approached Gonzalez Shopping Center, they're like, no, we don't want it. See our parking lot, lots of cars and all. No, we don't want. And one of my in my head is like, okay, that's the future is at least to some degree EV charging station. So we did approach Slings Valley Medical Clinic and they're interested. And so we moved the location. Energy Commission is where this to the Slings Valley Medical Clinic. And then with the City Hall is with the need for parking around City Hall is we wanted to move it, but keep it close to the downtown area. And so this is what we identified is Alta Minor, 6 spots across, well, you heard it, the median in front of Farmers Market.
All right, so that being clarified, I'll entertain a motion for approval.
Mr. Mayor, I move that we approve consent.
Motion second, all those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Ron. Chris, city council. First one is great. One is two very qualified candidates. Are they here tonight, Carmen?
Yes, they are both here.
Would both of you step up to the podium? Most of you start with Mr. Roscoe, after the question. Ask now. John?
The letters.
So,
I'm gonna ask the same.
yes. Thank you.
There's no lighter on counter. David E. Brad. Both very well qualified and have different talents to bring to the table. What, in your opinion, is one of the most critical things to face involved in the next 5 years?
I think the growing part, but at the same time maintaining the small town charm that we have. I don't think we want to do that because something like that that I without being an answer for that question.
I do agree with keeping it small, but still letting it grow. For example, the EV station, I think I see the positive in that because it could bring the Gonzalez community to the local businesses and help the local businesses more. It's on the farmer side or whatnot, in addition to controlling traffic and on the Fifth Street Fifth Street traffic to clear it up and other topics as well. I am Alex Ramirez. I live on Canyon Creek on Rome.
Jose Talent. I live in Circle.
My question would be, what brought them involved?
Okay, so, I moved here during the housing crash. I was, um, impressed with the community, how much it likes each other. I was at a softball game with my son and, my cousin also lives here. But I was at a softball game with my son and one of the, other parents was heckling our team, which was against, the softball or baseball communities, standards. So when I mentioned something, one of the parents came at me kind of aggressive, and I was surprised to see how many Gonzalez parents were able to like have my back and looked at it as more of a community. So keeping it small, I feel like it's a good thing for us because it'll keep crime rate down as well as how the logo says, it's a small town, but it's a lot of love.
A little bit of the same story. I moved here with my parents. My mom doesn't work, so my dad and I are actually the household. We moved here 13 years ago, and to be honest with you, at the beginning when we moved here, I had no city pride. I don't know nothing that was going on in the city. Then I became a community house worker here in 2020 or 2021 with the pandemic, and it totally changed my perspective around the city and everything that they do, like a whole 360. And ever since then, I've been really involved. Right now, I work for the city of Greenfield in the community engagement department. I have a per diem position at the hospital, Simmons Valley Health, and I'm also a board director at Chispa Housing. And I've been learning a lot in Chispa from the nonprofit's perspective, especially with affordable housing, as you guys know Chispa. So just learning that regarding the city, what the mindset is, how the land is used. I'm very interested in that, and just contributing to be a part of that.
Excuse me, I'm going back and close that on a lot. First of all, I want to thank both of you for applying. It's always great to have several applicants, and you're both very qualified. And I gotta tell you, my life in politics started from the planning commission. And again, it was an older gentleman here in town suggested that since I was a new kid in town, long time ago, that it would be in my best interest to be a part of the commission because they look at everything that's coming in the future. So he said, you know, you want to plan for the future, this is a good place to start. I didn't know this is not a bad idea. You know, I remember that. Great job, quite impressive. The one question I had for you is if you could replan Gonzales, could you tell me where would you plan? In the same location, further up, further south? Just a question I'm throwing out to you.
I would keep it simple. I would leave it just the way it is right here.
Likewise, I would keep it in the same area because it's close enough to local hospitals or whatnot in case of an emergency, and it's still very quiet and away from all the sirens that you hear in the big cities. So
I'll be honest with you, this is probably one of the toughest decisions that we make very quickly, but it's a good opportunity. So I'll go ahead and entertain a motion for nomination, and I'll be excited.
Well, before we just figure out, is there anything additional you want to add? I mean, we asked a question, but we had a letter where we reviewed it.
I'll start off by just saying thank you for the opportunity, and I greatly appreciate it. It's an honor. So thank you.
I'll piggyback Alex's comments. I agree with them 100%. So thank you guys.
Thank you, sir.
One, that we can only select one. I want to encourage the other to stay after and to come to our meetings and continue your vision of how Gonzales will be. So it's, you know, if one of you cannot be here or whatever, then, I just encourage you to stay active and involved and part of our gathering.
I think it's still have this with an, measure.
Measure K.
And, yeah.
So we like volunteer.
Yeah, I think in my case, like, no, but it doesn't matter if it's today, I'm gonna be involved in Gonzalez volunteering, I'm very involved, so maybe you guys won't know, but that won't stop, it'll continue.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right.
This is secret ballot. Or should you make a motion?
Yeah, I'd like to make anything. I'd like to make a motion.
So breaking back into the code of reading of this, is the mayor shall make a recommendation.
Oh, there?
You members will be nominated by the mayor upon their approval of the majority of members.
Oh, okay.
Thanks, Michael.
Would it be helpful if we step out?
This is the point. You know, I almost couldn't count to that. But I do like what one thing you said, it is really difficult for me. And I'm so happy to hear it said that you're still willing to commit to being a part of this community. I know that you have been. I think my vote's gonna go for Alex. I kind of like the idea that you came here and you called it home. And honestly, that's when I came here, that's what I felt like I'm home. There's so many places in this valley, any of us can live in, but there's places for every one of us to find a home. However, I've said this before, I have 4 children. I've only got 1 year at home. Yes, he feels like it's a home. This is the 3, well, guess they're off the rock. So I'm going to be for Alex. I'm going to nominate Alex as the equivalent to Bedford.
We need to have a vote on that.
You need to vote, Mike?
Yes.
Okay, so you just say I want to make it right, yeah?
Yeah.
All in favor, please signify by saying aye. Aye. Welcome aboard, Alex.
And so then also I think like earlier, we have another applicant that I think both, is definitely, capable of and, taking the position and so forth, when we add them to the list somewhere, so we don't have to go back out. Give them another vacancy to occur and so forth.
Measure K two.
Yeah.
If I could, there's still plenty of room to participate at the planning commission meetings as a concerned citizen with your thoughts and influence. And who knows, you might just come across the next vacancy before you know it. So that's great to have citizens participate in a planning commission process. And so you're also welcome to come to the city council. I mean, we're going to visit the election here soon, so. Okay? Thank you very much, Bill. I really appreciate your grill. Yeah, consider creation of a fireworks committee, and I believe you were all asked to have a potential candidate for that committee.
Yeah.
Okay, so who wants to start? Right?
My recommendation is Ruben Zarita.
Recommendation is Larry Rodriguez.
My recommendation is, Eddie Ramirez. Coach Ramirez.
My recommendation is James, Perry.
Say that name.
James Perry.
Stop.
And I don't have a direct one, there were members, in our new policy, the Homeburg, but I don't have a specific one at the moment, but I can.
If you would, that way we have someone who's represented by each council member. Please. Probably that enough direction.
Yeah, the only thing I would add, for this one, consider is, we want kind of even committees, so. And both sides are, that is, your committee, so it's already there. there, and then what is may not be.
Yeah, I don't want to say that how we're going to in your cycle, we're going to be, but,
Mayor, I just want to make sure, so this committee is being formed for what purpose?
Well, so you come up with, how do we, better serve the community, whether it's to get rid of, potentially get rid of all fireworks, create additional ordinance for illegal fireworks. Is there a way we can dampen down a bit? I mean, just talk some ideas around it, and hoping both chiefs, police chief and the fire chief can be part of that committee. And I thought some with some possible ideas and solutions.
So that's their limited mission is to explore the various options for controlling the use of fireworks in the city, possible restrictions, so forth and so on.
Correct. That,
I would say very similar to what the city of Seacon did in their formation of the committee to discuss. In terms of bringing.
And on this committee, through the mayor, will there be representation from the council?
good conversation. Do I hear volunteers?
I would check and see what.
Well, I can maybe you were on the committee and you appointed folks to the committee, I believe it would be covered by the Brown Act, right?
Correct.
So you could, in theory, appoint a member of the city council or two members of the city council if you want to have city council representation on the committee.
Well, initially, I like the first meeting to be just the committee members and staff, so that they can speak freely. I feel like they're, right, and then talk that idea that there's a couple council members that would like to join that. I'm assuming there's a couple. Okay, got one. Okay, got two.
So, just for clarification, will be the staff member president or Jason or Chief Fires or all three?
All three of us will participate, I'm a staff member, and I can give you a group meet on phone, kind of go through some processes and ideas, and then bring it to, council ad hoc committee. Then kind of further vet that with them before it gets to the entire.
It would be nice if we can get it completed before July. Yeah, if there's things that need to be implemented, or
Yeah, actually, it's get it completed by the end of May. There's really a suggestion and a serious recommendation to modify the code. It's going to take, 2 meetings for us to adopt an ordinance to get it in place. Probably even sooner than that, because, I think that the folks with, sell fireworks and so forth, order them early on, right? If they're not already, they might be part of the process, and so maybe too late actually doing some kind of maybe things, but let's just see how it goes.
okay. That was hard. Okay. All right, the next part of the meeting, the regular meeting, I don't have my meeting classes, I had driven here, I left a little vehicle, so I will ask, Mayor Pro Tem to complete the rest of this. So,
Thank you, sir. Oh, so you might have all right.
got it,
All right.
elevate that voice.
Agenda item number 18, progress report on the emergency repairs of the wastewater treatment plant. That work.
There we go, member. We have mentioned the progress report on the water treatment plants, the full field repairs, at the last meeting on February 5th. Staff asked for emergency contracting ability to get a contractor out to address the percolation that is low in the local fields. And so, as mentioned at that meeting, and in mid-January, public works staff noticed that the percolation rates in the local fields had slowed for a couple of reasons. Increased water table due to last winter storm, this is winter storm. And then they've been too wet over the previous weeks to get in there and rip them. We, following up on the authorization that we got at the February 5th meeting, engaged a contractor named Swift Tectonics, who had worked in Greenfield and other wastewater treatment plants. The authorization happened on Monday, they mobilized by Friday, they began work on Friday and Saturday, and then all of last week. Basically, building up the berms and then also ripping the disposal field. We had Rain for Rent come in and installed pipe, and we basically were piping treated wastewater back to the emergency overflow basin by the headworks. And then we also engaged our city surveyor to take a topographic survey of the disposal fields, and we'll be looking at increasing the levees to the design elevation. So the cost so far is $50,000. So we're well into the $250,000 authorization that we provided at the last meeting. We know Rain for Rent is a 1 month rental. There'll be an additional $5,000 cost to remove the pipe and take it back. That'll be after 4 weeks of use. And Swift Tectonics will continue to work as well as permits. They did not work today, but I'm confident that we'll be under the $250,000 authorization. The other thing to highlight is we have been in touch with the regional board, letting them know the work that's going on, the emergency work that's going on for the wastewater treatment plant. And that concludes my presentation. Ready for any questions?
I have one.
Yes.
I mean, the ground is saturated, I can't help but think it would be at least a couple of weeks before, if at all, we get into Rickles. Policy, is there any way, and is there a piece of equipment that could get in there Rickles from?
Marius, so we are ripping them, the contractor's ripping them because they have tracked equipment that's able to get into them, and basically we're draining a pond, so we drained, so it's 3 ponds, A, B, and C, and pond B, of course, in the middle, so we drained that with a pump from Rain for Rent into pond C. That's the pond that we were then pumping treated wastewater back to the emergency overflow basin. So they were able, because of the fact that they had tracked equipment, they could get in. And we've made it, we've made it through the last series of storms over the last week or so. Well under the need for any other emergency measures.
Great, fantastic. Give the report, right?
Exactly.
We need no action.
Okay, hang on, comment. Even for the comments, we would comment on that. Maybe bring it back. And she do the part. All right, next item, consider approval of resolution number 2024-04, a resolution of the city council of the city of Dallas authorizing execution of a lease agreement for the city of Dallas and the zoning farm for a city owned parcel location in Cambridge. And Mayor, before you see, I do have to visit relationship with zoning farms on the feed and set up.
There is.
All right, staff report.
Marius, council members, yes, as mentioned, this is a new lease for city-owned parcel located just west of the Canyon Creek Park. So when the Canyon Creek Park subdivision was developed, the city came into owning a 9.24 acre parcel, which is comprised of the Canyon Creek Park and then a remainder parcel that's on a higher bench just to the west, and it's approximately 2.9 acres. In 2006, that was leased to Stony Farms for $1 a year. Last August, staff engaged Heine Realty to prepare a fair market rental appraisal, and that appraisal was completed in November of 2023, and recommended an annual rent of $3,855 for this parcel. The value is somewhat hindered by the fact that it's landlocked, does not have water, no other utilities, and it's adjacent to other farming uses. So staff prepared the agreement that's attached to the staff report, and has the lease payment of $3,855 with an annual adjustment of 3% or the consumer price index, whichever is greater. As mentioned in the staff report, according to John Payne, farmland leases run from November first to October 31st each year, with a new lease that in your packet is effective November 1st of last year. And the leases for an initial 3-year term with a 1-year extension based on mutual agreement. It's important to say that over the last 10 years or so, staff submitted several grant applications on several occasions to get grant funding to expand the Canyon Creek Park, and those efforts were not successful. And in conclusion, we're recommending that City Council authorize execution of this new lease. That's my report.
Thank you. I'll go ahead and just open this up to the public, and if member of the public which will comment on an item, you can do so at this point. I have a question, you ever $1,000 a year, that's fine. So now it's gonna be 3,800
Right. Yeah,
a year or a month?
a year.
A year. Inflation. I still think that's a little low too, 3,800 a year. Really, how much money are they making on that, right? I'm sure they're making per penny on it. Yeah, I really don't agree with that. I think it should be a little bit more than that, but no, a year doesn't make sense either. Yeah, sorry. Thank you. Anyone else? Just a quick question.
You said you had a real estate company look at it? Because I'm a realtor, and in real estate, we grab 3 properties that are sold, 3 that are comparable or contingent, and then 3 active. I would think an appraisal company would be a little more accurate. Because it does seem like a little low as far as the rent goes.
So the report's attached to the item. And it looks like what they had on the order of 7 different parcels and the lease term. So yes, 7 different parcels, and they discounted it by what, by 40% because of the items that you heard, that there's no water on the site, it's landlocked.
Right.
So they had to lower the appraisal, the market rate rent appraisal value.
That was my question. Great. Just
Anyone else? Okay, bring back the council, the questions to council.
I have a real quick question after. So this parcel is owned by Lonnie Farms or is owned by the city?
So that's the city owns this parcel.
So it's that one,
Yes, precisely.
and so no water, so Lonnie doesn't even farm it?
They do farm it. They bring water, they extend water from their own property
Okay,
because they're farming other parcels around it. So they extend water onto this parcel.
okay, now it's turning.
Okay.
And I have a question, and this really out there. Is there any way we can get any money from them from the past? I know it's a silly question, but I thought I'd throw it out there. Since it hasn't been addressed in how many years?
You mean like retroactive?
Yeah, exactly.
Man, please support.
Would you like boxes of broccoli?
No, the lease expired many years ago, so this has been basically done on a acknowledgement of the fact that the property continues on the farm. And the city didn't have any report because it's been
Okay, and if you accepted broccoli, you have to put it on farm then.
Reconsider it.
Yeah.
All right.
So, I don't know if I'm building on your comment, Councilmember Ward, but this is part of staff's efforts looking at leases that we have on city parcels.
That's good.
Okay.
Okay.
Anything else?
No, just on that note, and Patrick, you mentioned, looking at everything, I would, in the near future, like to see other city-owned properties and when those leases are out there. And what the proposed new increase would be.
Yeah, I also wanted to point out that this lease is limited to 5 years. After that, they're not able to, you won't be able to release it for that purpose and, figure out.
And then, so we can lease it to Lily Farms for a period of 5 years, and that's that thing.
Before we enter into another lease strategy for farm purpose, under the Surplus Lands Act, we would have to make it available to important housing developers first. And then if nobody's interested in developing housing on that site, then we could use it for other purposes. But it would then, lay down a covenant against property that is ever used for housing purposes, they have to comply with certain standards. Part of the government, the legislature that in California that have all available property for development. So anytime we pass the Surplus Lands Act, and after, all property that the city has that we are either going to sell or that we are leasing, going to be subject to this. Basically, in doing that, we're saying to the world, we don't have any real use for the properties, we at least have purpose. And once you identify that it's surplus land, and it has to be opportunity for the first.
How is the rate of release now? Had lease.
That lease was expired, like I said, I think back in 2009, so that lease expired, but it did expire for a long period of time. So we had a lease sort of in theory, but not really, right? There were no terms, no conditions, no anything in place for the release of that property. So we're acting as if there is a new 5-year lease, it's a 3-year lease with a 22-month option. From this point forward, but that would be the limitation. After that, we have to apply with the surplus land.
So if we comply with surplus land act in 5 years, and there's no takers, still becomes surplus land. Because
No, that's where we can then lease the property out. We can do a one, but I gotta tell you that right now, the list of people who get notified, if you have a surplus property, is pretty large, and cities would be very surprised by offering that property, that nobody's gonna be developing affordable housing, and getting lots of likes.
that'd be great. Renee and I talked about it before you left, but what are the ideas we put around, putting affordable housing on there? Creating a bridge to go across the blue, I mean, it's not just fun.
Right, the biggest problem we have is that, as Patrick mentioned, there are no utilities and so forth, and the bridge process would probably require the involvement of lots of architects, engineers, and so forth. It's somewhat complicated, trying to keep the cost down. But it's, in theory, 5 years' time, it's going to be really interesting.
Well, I commend staff for looking at all those old expired leases and at least getting some of it. We spent a few dollars back and the guys were very proud and just like, I was already found that out. Good job, Byron. Appreciate that. And so now I will entertain a motion for approvers for every year fancy.
I have to make a motion to approve.
I'll
As
second.
written.
Motion to approve and second. All those in favor, please signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed? Carried. Mr. President, could you please go back to the room while we have to leave again?
I am. We'll have to leave, yeah. Get to read it.
Right, item number 21. Authorize the execution of the 14 service agreement between the city of Dallas and American Associates to provide assessment engineering services for the California Green Benefit Assessment District and the California Green Parks and Open Space Assessment District. For a non-succeed fee for the which includes the contingency budget of $3,300. And this is one that I need to.
Yeah, and so if anybody who's on the council who lives in that particular, subdivision, you can choose themselves.
In her.
All right, thank you.
Thanks, Scott.
Is this just for, California?
Yeah, exactly what it was. Yeah, exactly what was when California Breeze is the only, except it doesn't have automatic,
All righty, I'm assuming this is Patrick again.
This is,
There you go.
I have a personal record of 7 items this evening. Let's see, so Mayor Rios, council members, as you're aware, the city has 8 assessment districts. They were all formed when the development came along, subdivision map was approved. And so they're listed in your report. I'm not going to rattle it off, but the first one was California Breeze, the benefit assessment, and the parks and open space. So just to say, benefit assessment, it's street work, signs, there's storm drain basin to take care of, that's the benefit assessment. Parks and open space, kind of like what it sounds. So for California Breeze, it's the parks and open spaces for Meyer Park and then the landscaping along Harold Parkway. So when you can see the top of page 2, the two California Breeze districts were the first ones established by the city in 1993. And the city attorney Mike mentioned these districts did not have a CPI increase. So over time, the revenue has not kept up with the expenses. And over the last 6 or 7 years, the districts have gone more and more negative, to the extent of the parks and open space is actually being subsidized by the city's general fund. So we wanted to go down the path of the engineer's report, which we do every year. So it's the engineer's report, and then go through the Prop 218 process, and that would be voted on by the property owners to increase the assessment. We would begin by doing a survey and letting them know why we need to look at this, and then go through the engineer's report based on a budget and go through the Prop 218 process. And that's my presentation, and staff recommends authorizing the contract with Harrison Associates.
I'll go ahead and open this up to vote. Any member of the public wishing to comment on this item, this time.
Just a question is that Myers Park, right? It's not going to be. Yeah, but I just wondered if the sidewalks out there have been fixed in Myers Park. Because now the trees have been lifting. I know you're talking about assessments and stuff here, but I know these people have been taking money out of their property taxes and stuff, but why hasn't that been fixed? The sidewalks and the trees out there are lifting. So I just had that question since we're talking about it.
We fixed, public works that was fixed some of the sidewalks, I know in basically the restroom. I know the sidewalks that need to be taken care of like the parkway. They can be a challenge because of the, yes, uplifted by trees. They public staff removes the slab of concrete. Can we cut that root and not cut that root? And usually that involves bringing in a tree person for an arborist. And we face it on Kano Road actually in the last couple of weeks. Yes, we have a lot of sidewalks getting uplifted by trees, and so it's we have to address the source, cutting the trees, and so on. Kano Road is an example is that we remove the tree.
Anyone else in the public? No, okay. So we don't have them, we'll get after any emails? There?
No, honestly.
Thank you very much. I'll go ahead and close the public comment period and bring it back to the council, and council discussion, question.
My question is, so all of the things that some of the residents have been discussing about Meyer Park, so maybe we've had a question, people coming in now their assessments are gonna move up. I
I
mean, they're gonna have to vote on it, but I know that they're gonna have to vote on it, and all of a sudden, then that's a whole nother thing that they're having concern about. I guess my question is, under city staff and council members at meetings, were they aware of that when you had a meeting with a few folks that came? Yes.
So, we did for the subject and actually the 10 folks in the room, I believe that number was more or less, seem to understand, because if, their concerns are obviously related to resources at the park, right? And as you heard earlier, we are supplementing that. Everything that gets done in that area with our general fund, so even though there's taxes that are, like, they're not enough, and we're in the red specifically in that subdivision. So, yes, it will be a hurdle initially, however, the group was very supportive and, I would say volunteered to help us get the word out even when it comes to making the survey, or at least a portion of the group, I would say, they understood and increasing that, assessment, would actually allow us to take some care of some of the issues that they've been pointing to.
Exactly.
But otherwise, our hands are tied and we kind of continue to deep into the general fund and our reserves to take care of some of those issues. So this would hopefully help us alleviate some of the concerns.
Thank you.
They actually, and asked me, when is that committee going to meet and get the information so they can kind of, get together and start disseminating some information. And we'll move forward with that.
There's a motion, one way or the other.
I'd like to make a motion to authorize execution of the consulting agreement as stated.
I think we do that. Motion by Ms. Worley, second by Ms. Ruffin. All those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Carried. All right, so come back in. Organized. I believe we're going to go ahead and move on to the Gonzalez Youth Council updates.
And yeah, our UIC members are not present today, so we would like to report now, but they can be here.
All right, and so we get down to the business from city council. I have nothing to report from the cities and then, MX.
I'm not sure, Mr. Mayor, for our impact, I would send the committee, the community, or, I'm nothing to this for, recall.
Okay. MSP.
Just a couple of things, it was interesting to see Denise here tonight because one of the discussions that we're gonna have next month is putting the hurricane on all of the MSP buses. Something that we've been discussing a little bit and we are definitely looking at that this month, so that would be something important. The third project is well on its way, we have 95% of all different agencies intact, the design is done, it's pretty exciting, they're gonna come back next month and let us know kind of where we're gonna go from there as far as, breaking the ground and all that good stuff. The last thing, which is kind of exciting, for those of you that may have seen it, it was on KTW, I think it was on the local news. We had some of our board members drive some of the buses, last month, and because of that, people saw it. And we got about 20 new bus drivers who are going to the buses. So that's very exciting. I mean, we've all been trying to get more bus drivers and by going through different, ways of doing it, and it hasn't gone anywhere, and this one thing generated some interest, and so now we're looking at hopefully getting some new bus drivers, which is really important, so. Where I'm at, and the next meeting will be in March. Did you drive the bus? I didn't, I wanted to so bad. Anna Velasquez did, and I think we had 3 or 4 million members. I wanted to, but they're gonna do it again, so the next time they do, I definitely cost. Seems like it'd be fun. Yeah, I love it. That could be my new job.
Chief, would-
No,
all right, oral communication, we'll start with Mr. Worthy.
I don't really have anything.
I just want to remind our residents and the public in general to please stay safe during all these atmospheric storms that we're experiencing again this year. Slow down, slow down, slow down. Remember to put your, keep your headlights on. I came from Salinas this afternoon through the river road, and we're really starting to accumulate the water on the roads. People were driving faster than they should have. And then I saw that there was an incident on South Tower, the one just out of Chuar, the backed up traffic. Not in Chuar, so, it was, yeah, it didn't look a little bad, but it was bad enough to slow down traffic at about 3 o'clock this afternoon, so, I encourage everybody to do that. Also remind everybody, our primary ballots are due on Tuesday, March 5th. There is a box in front of City Hall. You don't want to mail it, you can just drop it off there. And it's important to vote.
Yeah, we're, really, with those works, our police that, and thank you for all your efforts. And it's, once again, another wet season, and to the point of the atmosphere burgers going through the area, it's fun, a lot of fun to see that our region has in the middle of the big storm. We have to hit direct on, but that being said, obviously, we saw a lot of opportunity, which brings that back to, our staff, and so, they're doing an amazing job keeping things going, so appreciate all the time and effort, appreciate all the time being wet and cold. Folks in their dry homes appreciate it, so thank you.
So,
Thank you. Lenten dinners are going to be served beginning Friday, it's in Peters Church from 5 to 7. It's invite everybody to attend. I think we have 5 schedules, so it'd be nice to put on Fridays. Also want to thank the staff and the community for, I know we're being recognized by my business council for our government awards, so that's another great honor for us to receive that award. And I also want to ask, I know that years ago, we required ice cream vendors and peddlers to get a business license and to go through some sort of a background check, chief-wise, that they were going to be doing and conducting business in the time. And I believe that was a result of the council member who was concerned and who brought that up. And there was a policy in place that I'm just curious to know if that is something that I've seen and been asked for looking into it as we see more and more vendors coming into our community. And many of them are not from here, but there seems to be an increase. If that policy would still apply to those vendors and business and vendors where they would have to get at least a 1-day business license of some sort, and sure how that would work. But I know in other cities, they do require for business license. So it's something to look into, and to make that. Thank you.
just want to remember to Councilor Patrick and I had a very fruitful meeting with Todd Muck, the executive director for Tennessee. One of the things that we kind of floated by him just to get an idea, we borrowed our money ahead to make the correction to Long Alpha. We asked him if possible, or how close are we done, are being done with it? It's possible maybe borrow further ahead. Maybe get 4th Street fixed. Again, the reason I'm harping on 4th Street is that it is an area which we use on a regular basis for car shows, and now we're talking about a wine festival. And the last thing I want to see is someone with a glass of wine walking across the street and tripping over the bottles, because they're getting pretty ugly. And I know there's other places in the community that also need repair, but it would be at least I don't know. Patrick better and more knowledgeable of this. I mean, obviously, the minimum level we need to mark is what I'd like to do is part of it. Sorry, probably no. You know, technology is great, just sometimes this thing that just doesn't work correctly. So I'm expecting, because I'm diabetic, so I have a connection here. And if I get too low, this thing beeps, or I get too high, it beeps. So at night, I'm literally having to completely shut off the phone so that it doesn't beep. And I've had all my technical experts trying to figure out how to turn this stupid thing on, and no one can. You can't.
Yeah.
So I apologize, it's telling me I'm full of sugar, you know, I had dinner, you're gonna chop me with just what I don't. I told them, after the last grade kid born, I'm gonna draw this one away, or you guys, I don't. And, no, I didn't. We want that. Anyway, so just to let you know, you're looking behind you. But the idea that I had, and Tom said it, mentioned the meeting, with me and Patrick, we talked at Blake, talked about all potential new developments in the community. And put a fancy grade on it, these are coming, and we need to get ahead of it before we're behind it, like another things to do here, so. So I just want to let you all know that. Speaking of the wine festival, do you have dates for both the wine festival or the car show? And then, of course, we have a Halloween thing, we still go, Halloween nights, yes. Okay. So do you have dates for,
You want to know, or they're waiting for our report?
Halloween period? We're done here, I have something else, time for you go ahead and continue.
Okay, so, first off, I wanted to share her yoga seems to be a success in the community. So, there's about 25 people that attend last Saturday, so I hear, and people are excited, so again, great partnership, and we'll have to figure out how to continue that, because it seems like that folks are really excited about the programming. The other thing you've got moving is the community garden too, that is going to go next to the pool. So everyone that's partnering on that is moving along. We don't have a date set yet for the planting, et cetera, community days. We don't have a name for it yet, but it's time. I think I mentioned on the last meeting that our big planter boxes that were purchased by Blue Zones, $3,000 a pop, arrived already, and so Public Works is gonna set them up, and then we'll send a date to fill them, plant, and then we want to buy her some pizza, so. $3,000 a box, so they are meant to last 15 to 20 years, so they're going to last. Yeah.
How many can we get?
Great, it's great. I believe they're 12 feet by 12 by 15, they're pretty large.
Are they gonna be up high or are you gonna put them down on the ground? Something to think about.
They're up,
Okay.
and then, yeah, so we'll bring the, some of the new information a little bit more on it, as we get closer to the date, the exciting days.
The compost from the land.
I know we're working through a bunch of different partnerships, and, we're gonna reach out to Marty and others, to see what they can actually get, donated, but we've got like Save the Well contributing like $2,000, I mean, again, this is all kind of right off that partnership, and so.
Are we gonna bring some birds down there?
That's we discussed too, we won't have cameras, the fencing is being discussed, but you know, when we decided to take on this project, I was very clear with the group that we want this to be self-sustained. So, letting them plan it, because, the important part will be that, for example, with the knowledge of off the wall, they will be able to bring their groups out to really help do the weeding and planting, as well as from the boat center. So it really is meant to be a community driven garden, so don't want to dictate too much, but of course, it's between the city and Tiffany and Patrick and the team to figure out dimensions and irrigation, but. So it's coming along, like I said, I'll have them come and present the idea and what that's gonna look like. The other thing I wanted to mention, yes, so, well, I'll start by the date, so April 20th is our car show. That's the date, it was moved to, we had originally selected the 13th, and I know there's been a question as to why, but Salinas is having one on the 13th. And it's close to have two on the April 13th, so we just, have enough time to move it to April 20th, and so it's the save the dates are out there, people are already excited and are asking for the forms already to fill them out, so people are getting excited about that. April 26th, we are, the city of Dallas did, get the exciting news that we were selected by the Monterey County Business Council, for the Community Builders Award by government. And they are awarding it to us for our steadfast work on housing. And they are at all the meetings with us, and they see us, working hard to get it moving, and so, they want to recognize this effort because they have seen, how strong a presence development had in some of the conversations. And so, anyway, that would be awarded to us on April 26th at Spanish Bay. So congratulations to all of you on that. And, April 27th is our very exciting groundbreaking ceremony as well for the community center. So, inviting the public for that 1 o'clock at the site. We plan to have a big fest and celebration. It's very exciting, and all the elected to be there, especially those that contributed significant funding will all be joining us. So please put that on your calendars if it isn't already. And then the only other one I'm going to share right now is June 1st is the date set so far for the one
June 1st?
June 1st is the date post the team has picked up on. So I'll let you know if any confusion, but that is the list of upcoming events. That's all I have for this evening. Thank you for.
Thank you. Any other staff member have the update? or-
Chief Wise.
Yeah, just on the comment, which was, we can come over to items that conflicts, we got that, the hard to, get annual bush size considered. And also a, ability to receive a, my office to, be worthy of one vote to the part of our, started. These works a long time. These people really want to put out others why they can plan out to do it and clearly any part. Actually, and the people all better than some. So. It's not really good to decide for plan or us. Could we do that? Give one warning. Once down, dealing with this, we fly down on that, we won't have to.
Is there a fee, is there a penalty fee for the citation?
Yeah, it puts us $100.
Fee for maybe for everybody here. I was wondering if it would be possible to do a, when there's a funeral, if we have a funeral and it's at the Legion, we can't put something over the top of those posts. They do that in other cities where they'll put a bag over the post during the time of the funeral. No, I mean, I'm serious. I mean, I'm not like these.
Again, school zone. School session.
Okay, I'm gonna keep pushing it because it just, I don't know, we don't have enough parking in front of the Legion and we need, and they're complying. I think most of the people are complying, really trying hard to make sure they do. But when somebody passes away, I just kind of feel bad that they have to be put away with that. That's all.
So that parking thing is only in effect on school.
Yeah, but it was 74.
I really like them, but we have, all have Easter break.
Yeah, but.
What was?
Well, thank you.
Anything else?
Go ahead, we don't need that.
Oh, no, you should know. Fantastic. Then you might have a room for a drink. Okay, first second, here we go. All in favor, please say aye. Stand here. Thank you all.